Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Jaya Radha Madhavo Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gora Premanandi Hari Hari. That's better arrangement. I mean the asana here instead of the middle. I like it much better because I can see the better the Prabhupada Radha Giridhari. Thank you. And also good idea you come closer. I can see you better. Hare Krishna. So, we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 10, Text 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nasta prayesha vadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki Shri Narada Uvacha Bhakti Yogasya Tatsarvam Antarayatta Yarbhaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayanmana Uvacha Bhakti Yogasya Tatsarvam Antarayata Yarbhakaha Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Uvachaha. Please chant. Manyamano Vachaha Yogavidam Sarva Shikesham Vacha
Bhakti Yogasya Tatsarvam Bhakti Yogasya Tatsarvam Antarayata Yarbhakaha Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Uvachaha.
Anybody else? Okay. Translation, please repeat word by word. Sri Narada Uvacha. Narada Muni said, Bhakti Yogasya, of the principles of devotional service, that those blessings or benedictions offered by Lord Nrsimhadeva, Sarvam, each and every one of them, Antarayataya, because of being impediments for the path of Bhakti Yoga. Arbhakaha, Prahlad Maharaj. Although only a boy, Manyamana, considering Rishikesham and to Lord Nrsimhadev. Smayamana, smiling. Uvacha, said. Ha, in the past. Translation. The saint Narada Muni continued. Although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Nrsimhadev, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus he smiled very mildly and spoke as follows. Purport. Material achievements are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. The ultimate goal of devotional service is love of Godhead. Therefore, although Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, and many devotee kings were materially very opulent, they accepted their material opulence in the service of the Lord, not for their personal sense gratification. Of course, possessing material opulence is always fearful because under the influence of material opulence, one may be misdirected from devotional service. Nonetheless, a pure devotee, Anyavilashita Shunyam, is never misdirected by material opulence. On the contrary, whatever he possesses, he engages 100% in the service of the Lord. When one is allured by material possessions, they are considered to be given by Maya. But when one uses material possessions fully for service, they are considered God's gifts or facilities offered by Krishna for enhancing one's devotional service. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, why Prahlad Maharaj smiled mildly when he was offered by Lord Nrsimhadev some benedictions, material benedictions? He smiled because he knew that the Lord was testing him, testing his attitude, what he was expecting from devotional service. Because people may engage sometimes in devotional service, but with the ultimate purpose of getting some material benefit or benedictions from the Lord, you know. I remember years ago, I was visiting one temple in Vrindavan, I think it was Benki Bihari, and I saw an Indian man praying, you know, like very, very sincerely with feelings, you know, you can see his face. And when we came out of the temple, I approached him, asked him, I saw you was praying very sincerely, what he was praying for. He said, oh, I just lost my job, and I was praying to the Lord to help me find a better job. I thought that is a pious man, you know. Four type of people approach the Lord. Those who are in need, material need, those who are inquisitive, or those who are just suffering, they want to ease their suffering, you know. On those who are looking for the truth, that's better, you know. So, and Krishna accepts them as pious, you know, as very pious. And you see that in all religions, people pray to God, go to church, mosque, and they always pray for their material well-being, you know. Usually people things, health, money, and love. These three things they ask for. Material love, of course, not the love of God. And since these things are not forever, in this material world, they come to an end, so people, they were going to be frustrated because they put their faith in something temporary. They eventually will be frustrated. They will not get what they want. They will lose it eventually. And even if they have some little knowledge, spiritual knowledge, they even can misuse it, you know. For example, in South America, some group made a song, and in the song they said, if you confuse your body with your soul, that means you are in love. I would say you are in ignorance. But they think this, even if they know something about the soul, like the Bhagavad Gita says, some people hear about the soul as amazing. Some others see it as amazing. Some even can't understand it. So it's not an easy knowledge. Once a great sage approached Yamaraj to inquire from him about spiritual knowledge, about the absolute truth. And Yamaraj said, if you want, you can ask me any other thing. I can give you riches, I can give you beautiful girls. Ask me anything you want, but don't ask me to give you this knowledge, spiritual knowledge. No, the sage understood that He was being tempted by Yamaraj. No, I want only this. Then when Yamaraj saw his determination, he agreed to give him the spiritual knowledge. So in the same way, Lord Nrsimhadev is testing Prahlad Maharaj. Sometimes Krishna likes to test his pure devotee just to glorify them even more. Because when they come out successful out of the test, then they are more glorified, I remember once a devotee who, he became very famous artist and having all material opulence and things like that. And one day he told me, I don't know why Krishna gave me all this tests if he know I can't overcome them. Meaning don't want to overcome them. So that's why Prabhupada explained the purport that material opulence could be sometimes dangerous if one is not prepared to understand how everything belongs to Krishna and should be used in his service. So that's why, generally speaking, Krishna doesn't give much opulence to his devotees. Lord Shiva gives much more opulence to his devotees. That was a question asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadev Goswami. Why we see that devotees of Lord Shiva generally are very opulent, and devotees of Vishnu or Krishna, they are generally poor. Why is that? And Shukadev Goswami said, well, the opulence that the devotees of Shiva get is under the three modes of nature, so it's not gonna last for long. But the opulence of the devotees is that when they are in more difficulty, they become more attached to the Lord. So that's Krishna's plan. There's a story in the Mahabharata. Once Krishna and Arjuna, when in disguise, they went to visit a lady devotee. She was a nice devotee of Krishna. And she was poor, she was a widow, living in a small hut. And she only had a cow, and she will milk the cow, sell the milk, and survive in this way, very, very humbly. So they visit her, and everything was nice. She treated them very nicely. Whatever she had, she offered. And when they left, Arjuna asked Krishna, Krishna, this is your very dear devotee. Why you don't give her some little more material facility to survive? And Krishna said, yes, I'm going to actually bless her. Tomorrow her cow is going to die. Krishna, how can you be so cruel? She only have this cow to survive, and you're saying that tomorrow the cow will die. Why? Why you're doing this? It's difficult to understand Krishna's mind, no? Unless he reveals it to his devotees. So Krishna told Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, she loves me very much, but she's also very attached to her cow. She's now very old. She's going to die any time now. And if she dies thinking of her cow, it will not be good for her. So if the cow dies, she will take more shelter than me. And when she will die, she will think only of me. That's why the cow has to die. That story in the Mahabharata, So sometime, even Prabhupada himself asked his godbrother that he was doing well, he was doing well materially. He had a laboratory, pharmaceutic products, drugs, manufacturing and distributing all over India. He was very successful. But one day some thieves broke in and they stole all the valuable equipment, and he was completely broken. So he went to his godbrother, Sridhar Maharaj, and asked him, if this is Krishna's plan. Because there's a verse in the Shastra that Krishna said, when I favor my devotee, I take especially their opulence from them. That's very nice, yes. Yasyaham, yeah. But Krishna, he knows to whom he can do it. Not everyone, Not those who are not prepared for it, Rather, sometime he gave devotees who are with material desire, he gives them some opulence so they get a little more faith in him. It happens when I joined the movement, some new people were coming, and one of them was owner of a company and start chanting japa, start coming to the temple. And one day he told me, this chanting Hare Krishna is very nice. Since I'm chanting, my company is going up. Another young man, he approached me, started chanting also. He said, since I'm chanting Hare Krishna, the girls pay more attention to me. Of course, this is not the purpose of chanting Hare Krishna, I told them. The purpose is to get purified and free from those material attachments. But at the beginning, Krishna may, just to increase their faith in Krishna. That's what actually Lord Jesus did, with his first disciples. They were fishermen. And he helped them, to fish a lot fishes. Throw your net there. Because all day were trying, they will not get anything. But he helped them. Okay, throw your net there, you will get. And they got. So, they had faith in him. Once they got faith in him, what he did, he said, throw away your net and follow me. I will teach you how to fish man. Yeah, capture man for God. So this is a trick. It's a trick, by preachers that the same thing Narad Muni did with Mirigari, He said, why you only have killing? Kill them completely. So then he heard about the law of karma and everything. He was like, one devotee in Spain told me that he knew the devotee, but he was not deciding to surrender to become devotee. But when he read the 5th canto about the hellish planets, he said, I don't want to go there. I better become a devotee, Fifth canto, the hellish planet. So sometime it happens that way, that out of fear, that's good. That's good that we have to be afraid to go to hell, Of course, pure devotee, they said, doesn't matter if I go to hell, if I can't chant your holy name there, I'm fine. I can be fine anywhere. And Prabhupada Saraswati, he said that the heavenly planet are phantasmagoria, and the impersonal liberation is hellish. Worse than hell, he said. Because even in hell, if you're a devotee, actually there is a quote in the Nectar of Devotion, one devotee in hell, he's praying to Krishna. My dear Lord, because of my sinful activity, I'm suffering here. But even here, please don't allow me to forget you. So his devotee must have done something very bad. So, there's no guarantee, There is one amazing story, you maybe heard it, that after the disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one of his disciples gave up Krishna consciousness. And he started drinking, eating meat, going with prostitutes. And he was married man, he had family and everything. So he fell down very badly, So when he died, he went to Yamaraj. So Yamaraj has a secretary. What is the name of secretary? Chandragupta. Chitragupta. So Chitragupta will first analyze each and every case. If it is easy, he will say, okay, you have to go there and there and there. But if it is complicated, he will send them to Yamaraj. So when this devotee turn came, your case is very complicated, go to Yamaraj. So when he came to Yamaraj, Yamaraj looked at him and said, why you acted so sinfully? have you ever done any good action in your life? He said, yes. I took initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Oh, great personality, Dandavatam. So your case need to be, it's a difficult decision, so I need the help of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And he invoked him, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta appeared there in hell. And started chastising his disciple. Why you fell down? Why you stopped following my instructions? He chastised him very severely, and the disciple crying, please forgive me, Guru Maharaj. After your departure became very weak and very sorry. Please forgive me. He was crying. Okay. I will give you another chance. Now, your body is almost at the crematorium. They're going to burn it any minute now. But I'm going to allow your soul to go back to your body now. But as soon as you get there, you must surrender, completely go to a temple, full surrender, devotional service. Give up all sinful activity. You promise? Yes, I promise. He woke up in the crematorium, they're going to almost burning the body. It's a true story. I mean, it happened right after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta left this world. And all the family members, they were shocked. The ghost, Booth. He said, no, I'm me, And he told them the story, and he gave up everything, went to a temple of Gaudiya Math, surrendered fully, full time, Took second initiation, and,
We have some devotees who are going to need that kind of intervention.
Hare Krishna. Could be, I mean to say, we heard some stories about devotees with Prabhupada, with our Prabhupada, in that regard, like that, There's one amazing story, I don't remember, I think happened in Russia at the beginning of the movement there. One lady devotee, she was, they took it to sanatorium something, because they thought anybody who become devotee is crazy. And actually Prabhupada said once that, once devotee were reading the 26 qualities of a pure devotee, and Prabhupada said there is one more quality, 27. And devotee, oh yes, Prabhupada, which it is? You have to be a little crazy to become devotee. Prabhupada said that. So anyway, these people, they brought a witch, to convince, to mentally, convince this girl to give up Krishna consciousness. So they brought this mentalist woman, she's very powerful mentally, and she was trying to influence the girl, the devotee girl. And the devotee girl was chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Nrsimhadev, but nothing, she could not, she was being affected. But then she started to chant Prabhupada's prayer, Namaom Vishnu Padaya, And when she started to sing that, the witch became frightened. And they asked her, what happened? Behind her, there is an old man protecting her. Nobody could see it, but Prabhupada was behind the girl, protecting her. It's a true story. So, I mean to say, even nowadays, it is a fact, when Prabhupada visited our temple in Caracas, Venezuela, he said in one lecture, one class, unless I know everything in ISKCON, directly or indirectly, I will not be the founder Acharya. He said that. We were like, wow. So, and why this movement is still going on, and after Prabhupada's departure and so many problems, so many fall downs and so many crazy things, because it is founded by a pure devotee. And that's why it's still standing. Because the origin is pure. The origin is pure. So that's why it's still on its feet, no matter what. And it will go on. It's Lord Chaitanya's prediction. This has to happen. Every town and village will continue to happen. No? I just came from our farm in Mexico, New Bahulaban. One devotee family built a huge temple, like for 700 people to fit in. You know, it's huge, big temple. And one day, one young man appeared there, out of nowhere. He said, I came to know about Krishna on the internet. So I searched about it, and I bought the collection of Srimad Bhagavatam on the internet, and I started reading it. Then I read the Chaitanya Charita. I bought also the full collection of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now I'm chanting japa. And I came to know more about devotional service.
So he did all that without meeting the devotee?
Without meeting any devotee. He bought the book, read the book, immediately. By reading the book, he became devotee. It happened to me one day. I was distributing Bhagavad Gitas in South America, and this man I met, he said, "Oh, this is the first devotee I'm meeting. But I read the Bhagavad Gita as it is. And after reading it, I started chanting Hare Krishna, following the four regulative principles that Prabhupada mentioned in his books. And my friend and family became upset with me because I don't eat meat anymore, I don't drink anymore. So, I mean to say, this is very powerful. This is very powerful message. It's changing people's life for good, for better. It's very powerful. And we have to be instrument, you know. Sometimes devotee would tell me, well, I'm not such a good at preaching, I don't know much. I tell them, just let Prabhupada preach. We're just instrument. Soldier, foot soldiers. The general is Prabhupada, he's directing. Do this, do that. So, Prahlad Maharaj, being a great devotee of Krishna, actually he's devotee of Krishna, you know. He mentioned the name of Krishna in many of the verses. So, and he was showing how not to ask any material benedictions from the Lord, not expecting anything in return. Although Dhruva Maharaj, at the beginning, he expected something in return. But he regretted, when he had darshan of the Lord, he regretted that. When the Lord offered him material benediction, he said, Swaming kritartosmim baram nayache, my dear Lord, just by seeing you, I am fully satisfied. I don't want anything else. I was looking for broken glasses thrown in the street, but what I got instead, the most beautiful jewel in your form of your Lordship. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Even if somebody starts with material desire, he will end up forgetting his material desires and only wanting Krishna. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo daradi tivrena bhakti yogina yeta purusham param. So it doesn't matter if one is free from material desire, full of material desire, or desire for liberation. Tivrena bhakti yogina. One has to engage in devotional service. Prabhupada said, in devotional service without material desire is the best. But even with material desire, one should continue doing devotional service. And eventually one forget about it. You know, that's the way it is. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is quoting Krishna. Krishna saying, this fool come to me to ask me for poison, but why should I give him poison in the form of material enjoyment? Better I give him nectar. So that is Krishna's plan, you know, is tricky. He will not like to see his devotees becoming more entangled in the material world. So, but great devotees like, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Barish Maharaj, although they have great opulence, they will not be bewildered by it. They use it everything for Krishna's service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave us perfect example. He was a magistrate, having good salary, nice family, But he prayed to Krishna. Manasadeho geho yokichumor arpiluntu apade Nanda Kishore. My dear Krishna Nanda Kishore, I offer you my mind, my body, my home, everything. I'm only your servant. I don't want to be born as Brahma if it's not a devotee. I prefer to be an insect in the house of a pure devotee. So this philosophy, Krishna is very, very precise, to the point, What is the ultimate goal we should have in Krishna consciousness? Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions? Yes.
Maharaj, you just quoted Kama Sava Kama Va.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share with you one of the editing mistakes I found very critical in that purport to that verse.
Very nice.
So if you if you allow me, I'll just read from. Well, I'll read the translation of the verse and then starting the second paragraph of the purport, and then I'll show you. So this is a very key verse. A person who has broader intelligence, whether be full of all material desires, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead, and the word, Tivrena, with great intensity and with great purity.
Yeah.
So then the second paragraph begins, an akama, a person who is free of. An akama is one who has no material desire. A living being, naturally being the part and parcel of the Supreme Whole, Purusham Puram, has as his natural function to serve the Supreme Being, just as the parts and parcels of the body or the limbs of the body are naturally meant to serve the complete body. Desireless, akama, desireless means therefore not to be inert like the stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position and thus desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. Now what Prabhupada wrote was not that, because it kind of makes sense, desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. But what he wrote was, desire only the satisfaction of the Lord. Not that you desire your satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord, you see?
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Desire only the satisfaction of the Lord. And then he quotes Jiva Goswami, this wonderful little Sanskrit phrase that encapsulates the whole essence of bhakti. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this desirelessness as Bhajaniya Padama Purusha Sukha Matra Swasukhatvam in his Sundarbha. I haven't found that phrase yet. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of the Supreme Lord. That's Sanja Bilasha Dashunya.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Krishna is known as Anandam Mayo Vyasat, the fountain of all Anand, all bliss, all happiness. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, in one of his prayers, said, my dear Lord, I want to engage fully in your service, and the only compensation I wait for is your happiness, your love. That's my salary. I have love for you. So this is very beautiful, that's why Krishna say, pure devotee is always in my heart, I'm always in their heart, because there is a bond of love there. Yeah, right. Thanks. Any other comments, questions? Yes. Oh, the mic. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj, for a nice lecture. You mentioned about how sometimes, and you give a few examples, sometimes new people, they come and they have material desires to chant holy name.
Yes.
If we see somebody who's coming around and who wants to begin chanting, but his motivation, of course, most of us don't have exactly the purest motivation to chant holy name. But if we see somebody starting to chant with a material desire just to get a kick out of it or just to feel happy, should we encourage that?
You should encourage them to keep chanting, no matter what. Tell them eventually you will, forget about it. Take your time. The beautiful thing about Bhakti Yoga is once you started it, your success is guaranteed. 1 life, 10 life, whatever it may take, but the success is guaranteed. Because it's eternal. It's an eternal function of the soul. So if you do even 1%, next life you're assured you will start with 2%. So we should encourage them to keep chanting. I remember once I was in Spain years ago, and one devotee approached me and said, I have some good news to tell you. Yes, I'm chanting 60 rounds. Oh, congratulations, very good. But what should I do? I'm also committing many offenses. Should I stop chanting? I said, no, you should stop committing the offenses. So, I mean to say, we should be tolerant and kind to everyone who have any desire for devotional service, Because sometimes devotee get too hard on people. No, you have to give up this, you have to give up that. And they get discouraged, they may, take some distance from the devotees. So we have to be careful not to discourage anyone. Even if they have material desires, it's normal. It's a normal thing. Let them chant Hare Krishna, read the books, take prasad. Eventually they will overcome it. It may take them some years, or a few weeks, depends, we don't know. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. I'm just curious, what definition would you give of a pure devotee?
About?
What definition would you give of a pure devotee?
About a pure devotee. We asked Prabhupada that question when he visited our temple in Caracas. How we know somebody is a pure devotee? And Prabhupada said, he has no material desires. His only desire is to serve and love Krishna. Simple definition. Anya vilasita shunyam. So that's the first thing. Without this, there's no question of pure devotee. But Prabhupada was very liberal. He also said, anybody who chants 16 rounds, follow 4 rules, is a pure devotee. Very, very liberal said that. Of course, if somebody follows strictly the 4 rules, he's following purely, may not be fully pure, maybe 70%, but is pure. At least following purely, More purity will come, to the mind, and the more we advance in practicing devotional service, chanting the holy name. The whole secret of advancement is to chant offenselessly the holy name of the Lord. That's the secret of all advancement. And the most common offense is we chant unattentively. Once a devotee couple came to talk with me because they have some disagreement. And the lady was saying, well, my husband likes to chant japa, but he puts some devotional songs on the background while chanting. But I told him this is not correct. And he said, what is the problem? It's also spiritual sound. And I told him, yes, it is a spiritual distraction. Not material, it's a spiritual distraction. You can make it easier to chant japa by putting some nice spiritual music, You can't, you shouldn't do that. You don't have 4 ears, 2 for the music, 2 for the japa, only you have 2 ears only. So better don't get distracted even with these other spiritual activities. We can't, do so many things at the same time, Sometimes devotees, I remember many years ago in LA, one devotee came and talked to me. He said, I perfected the practice of chanting japa and reading Bhagavatam at the same time. I said, wait a minute, you may be able to do that, but you can't have full concentration in either of them. So even reading spiritual. Once the devotee asked Prabhupada, when we chant japa, what we shall do? Prabhupada said, nothing. Just chant. Of course, we can look at the pictures of Krishna, to help the concentration, but not reading or other activities. It's a spiritual distraction. Yeah, you can read some mantra, but not at the same time of chanting. Yeah, of course. But you don't need that. You already know it by heart.
You're writing it. It's not the 16 round, but it's a way of just meditating to write.
By writing the Mahamantra. It's okay. I mean, it's like when you go to school, they give you some study writing to do. I think it's better than writing is to hear and chant. Yes, Maharaj, please. Please pass the mic to Maharaj.
As usual, I'm about to get into trouble. But along those lines,
Yes.
what would you say about playing a recording of Srila Prabhupada chanting japa in the background as you're chanting japa?
I guess that's okay. If you don't put it too loud, sometimes they put it so loud they can't even hear themselves. So if they do it, put it softly, it's like you're in a room chanting with Prabhupada, Generally, I don't do it because I just follow Prabhupada instruction, hear and chant, the japa, But I don't see any harm in if they do it, put it softly, not too loud, so they can hear themselves too, But I'm not in favor of it too much, myself. Hare Krishna. Very good. Thank you very much for coming to the Bhagavatam class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.